Hey Cruz, it's Adrian Gomez with 212 Athlete. Thanks for coming to the camp, man. I really appreciate it, and we're gonna get even more ideas on how to make you better. So right now, out of your back leg, you get down into about 109 degrees, which is pretty far. Actually, I want it to be below 110, and you're already doing that. Um, what you'll notice, actually, you do a pretty good job of getting your knee inside of your ankle, but as you go down, your knee is still over that ankle, and I want to see if I can get that knee in a little bit earlier inside. That's going to help you start driving earlier, because right now you plant your foot and you want to drive even further, but your leg could have been driven in a lot further down the mound, creating a lot of momentum. So let's work on getting a little bit further down the mound and getting that knee inside. So let's move to the next one. The next one, so power out of the back leg is good. That's not an issue, other than extending and going further down. Your front knee actually doesn't have too much of a movement. It actually it plants, and then your knee comes back, which is what we want, which is a positive. So I don't think you have a huge big issue with your external rotation at a plant leg. So that's good. As you extend, we're going to measure this double angle with your leg, and this is really just going to see 112 degrees, which is very, very positive. That's going to help you get some good extension. I think it could be even further. I played with a guy named Tim Lincecum, and he's 130 degrees at foot strike, which is pretty fabulous. And he's 5'11", throwing 100 miles an hour. So that's definitely something that you could expound upon and get a little bit better. But 112 is fabulous. Moving into this front leg, I'm going to measure this and see where we're at. 139, and it actually retracts, which is positive, and you can see this hip rotation driving through. Pretty good hip rotation. You're not coming up. And then your back leg, instead of continuing to drive through it and pausing there, you're rushing forward. So I think we're going to work more on upper body. I think that's where all the issues are. But lower body looks pretty good. So let's look at your posture at ball release. Let's see that posture. So you're here, and when you are throwing, you're here. So your head has to travel this far to get the ball out. And what I'd like to see happen is let's be true to yourself, be true to who you are, and let's move you back a little bit. If you could move back this way and not forward, back this way but not forward, and stay on this line. If you can stay on this line, your head, if you started on that line, your head would literally move maybe just a few inches side to side, and you'd be able to drive through that release point, and it would be better rotation. So your better rotation, it would be fabulous. I think it's going to help a lot. So let's go to the next one. So that's something, posture, I want you to get better at, getting back a little bit further and driving through that. Out of extension here, this is your release point, and this is what we call a launch. Right here, over that toe. Which is pretty good. It's not bad, but it could be even further. I think your upper body and your front knee could make a difference, but see how you're not pausing and you're going through? That could be definitely enhanced, and it's going to allow you to drive through with more of your core and your body as opposed to your arm, and I think it's going to be a lot more power. So launch, I think that's it's a late launch. It's not bad. I don't think it's something that's crazy. So that's fabulous as well. So let's go into stacking, and this is where I think I can help you. This stacking, this ability to go inside, your knee going inside. Okay. Your knee's not inside yet, and your energy's forward here. And then all of a sudden it comes back. I'd like to see you stay back a little bit on that line that we talked about and rotate back this way, keeping your head over that rubber. And if you can do that, you're going to be able to have a lot more power through your leg. So moving on to the next one, let's get into the front glove, and you actually do a pretty good job of pinching and getting around this front side. And that's what we call positive disconnection, and it could be a little bit higher. I mean, your elbow, as you come up, your elbow never really gets higher than your shoulder, and that's what should happen. Elbow should come up a little bit higher. So I think we could help you by getting a little bit higher. If your arm is here, your elbow should be off of that. So it should be having opposite equal form. So I think your elbow needs to be a little bit higher as you pinch and drive through, but I think you have a pretty good action. So a little bit higher on that front glove. Getting into chest extend or high elbow, we're just going to look at where your elbow is in comparison to your shoulders, because we should see kind of a line between both shoulders and the elbow. As you're here, your elbow is at the shoulder level, and then it drives up a little bit. I don't want it to come up. I want to drive through, and with your chest, and actually you're leading with your chest. I want to drive with my chest, and then everything comes through, which I think you do a good job. But that leg comes up, and then you keep falling forward. You should pause and drive through with that chest. So not a high elbow. It's nothing high, and we want to keep it that way. I want to keep around there. So not a big issue. It's a little bit low as you're driving through. So let's look at the next one. Let's look at your chest extension. This is what I think we can definitely help you on. Out of your back hip, going up to your shoulder, about 36 degrees, and I'd like to see you at high 40s. I've got to get you to drive a little bit further, but you're going to have to be able to balance on that leg. And once this balances, you drive forward, and you keep rushing forward with your foot, and I want you to rush forward with your chest. Your chest should be coming through very, very well, and you kind of stop with your chest there, and that's why we want to put all of that stress in the back of the shoulder when you do that. All right, last one we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the layback of your arm as you drive through. You have pretty good layback. You have good external rotation, which is where power is. But we also want to make sure that this is all aligned and make sure it looks good. So you do a pretty good job. This is what we call an arm fly out, where your forearm is coming outside of that elbow. And I want to drive my chest as hard as I can through to keep my elbow on line and my wrist on top. So I want to see a little bit of a reduction in here, maybe around here. That's going to help push this arm through a little bit better. And when you do that, you're going to be able to get more spin on the ball. The spin rate's going to go up, the velocity is going to go up, your late break movement's going to go up, your extension out in front is going to be further out, which is what we want. All of these great things happen when you do that. So we want to reduce that arm fly out. That's something I want you to work on. and I think that's going to help clean up the arm action. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, and we will be out there soon.